welcome to In Depth. I'm Teena Jha. Rapid population growth and the subsequent urbanization in the last few decades has had a significant effect on India's transportation systems. According to a NITI Aayog report, transport demand has grown almost 8 times since 1980, way more than any other Asian economy. According to a recent WHO report, 14 Indian cities feature in the top 15 most polluted cities in the world, and major Indian cities are consistently ranked among the world's most congested cities. The severity of these challenges require immediately transforming India's mobility system. That's why, in order to create awareness about various aspects of mobility, India organized the first Global Mobility Summit in New Delhi last week. What were the issues taken up at the summit, and what solutions were provided to enable green, clean and shared mobility in India? Let's analyze in today's In Depth. Inaugurating the first Global Mobility Summit in New Delhi, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said India is on the move in terms of economy, infrastructure, youth and several other areas. He stressed that mobility is a key driver of the economy. Not only can it boost economic growth, it also has the potential to create employment opportunities in the country. India organized the first Global Mobility Summit MOVE in New Delhi on the 7th and 8th of September. Organized by NITI Aayog, the focus of the summit was to raise awareness about mobility. It brought together stakeholders from across different sectors of mobility and transportation to co-create a public interest framework to revolutionize transport. Inaugurating the first of its kind summit, Prime Minister Narendra Modi described mobility as the key driver of the economy. He said there is no doubt that India is on the move, but with better mobility, we can create better jobs and smart infrastructure, besides improving the quality of life.
Mobility is a key driver of the economy. Better mobility reduces the burden of travel and transportation and can boost economic growth. It is already a major employer and can create the next generation of jobs. Mobility is central to urbanization. Motorized personal vehicles require ever-growing road, parking and traffic infrastructure. Mobility is a key element of ease of living.
The Prime Minister said common public transport must be the cornerstone of India's mobility initiatives. In this regard, he informed that the NDA government will bring in a policy regime for electric and other alternative fuel vehicles. In a bid to check emissions of greenhouse gases and reduce dependency on fossil fuels, the government is targeting electrical vehicles to account for 15% of all vehicle sales in 5 years. An estimated 2,000 electric vehicles were sold last year.
The India Space Research Organization uses one of the best battery systems to run satellites in space. Other institutions can partner with ISRO to develop cost-effective and efficient battery systems for electric cars. We want to build India as a driver in electric vehicles. We will soon put in place a stable policy regime around electric and other alternative fuel vehicles. Policies will be designed as a win-win for all and enable huge opportunities in the automotive sector.
At the summit, the Prime Minister also listed out his vision for the future of mobility in India based on 7 C's: common, connected, convenient, congestion-free, charged, clean and cutting edge.
My vision for the future of mobility in India is based on 7 C's: Public transport must be the cornerstone of our mobility initiatives. New business models driven by digitization are reinventing the current paradigm. Big data is enabling smarter decision making by better understanding our partners and needs. Connected mobility implies integration of geographies as well as modes of transport. The internet-enabled connected sharing economy is emerging as the fulcrum of mobility. Convenient mobility means safe, affordable and accessible for all sections of the society. This includes the elderly, the women and the specially abled. We need to ensure that public transport is preferred to private modes of travel. Congestion-free mobility is critical to check the economic and environment costs of congestion. Hence, there should be emphasis on ending bottlenecks of networks. Charge mobility is the way forward. We want to drive investments across the value chain, from batteries to smart charging to electric vehicle manufacturing. India's business leaders and manufacturers are now poised to develop and deploy breakthrough battery technology. Clean mobility powered by clean energy is our most powerful weapon in our fight against climate change. This means a pollution-free, clean drive leading to clean air and better living standards for our people, to future generations. Mobility is like the internet in its early days. It is cutting edge. It is the next big innovation sector.
To transform India's mobility, the NITI Aayog has also advocated action around 4 key pillars: connect Bharat, optimize travel footprint, promote seamless cooperative transport, and adopt green modes and technologies. Under Connect Bharat, the infrastructure network needs to solve for all types of connectivity: urban to urban, urban to rural, and rural to rural. Another focus area is to reduce congestion caused by passenger and goods flow, especially in urban context. This reduced congestion will also significantly help the cause of clean air. An efficient and convenient public transport will go a long way in answering the twin problems of pollution and congestion. Our mobility solutions need to be harmonized with the global shared mobility revolution. The final pillar focuses on adopting green modes and technologies like electric vehicles and non-motorized transport. In addition, to ensure effective execution of these key pillars, a number of supporting enablers need to be put in place for laying the foundation, such as skills and employment, intelligent transport systems, governance, and public awareness. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV. The Global Mobility Summit also deliberated on the foundational and cutting-edge aspects of mobility. The main elements for India's mobility transformation are system integration, shared infrastructure development, and scaled manufacturing, which will unlock the potential of India's economy as well as its people.
At the Global Mobility Summit 2018, Prime Minister Narendra Modi appealed to auto industry leaders from India and abroad and other stakeholders to work on a holistic mobility solution that gives preference to public transport over private ownership. He also underlined that given India's low car penetration, the country offers a unique opportunity to come up with a sustainable solution that can be emulated by others.
Mobility is the next frontier in our fight against climate change. Better mobility can provide for better jobs, smarter infrastructure, and improve the quality of life. It can also reduce costs, expand economic activity, and protect the planet. Thus, the mobility sector impacts larger public outcomes. We are pushing waterways in addition to traditional modes like rail and road. We are reducing travel distance in our cities by efficient location of homes, schools, and offices. We have also started data-driven interventions such as intelligent traffic management systems. However, we also need to encourage pedestrians and cycling by taking steps to ensure their safety and priority.
Outlining India's strength, Prime Minister Modi said, "We can demonstrate how digital infrastructure can be combined with new mobility business models." On the technology front, he pointed out that our strengths lie in information technology, big data, digital payments, and the internet-enabled shared economy. Aadhaar and its India Stack ecosystem has laid down a comprehensive public digital infrastructure and digitally empowered 850 million citizens. The renewable energy push will help us to fully realize the environmental benefits of electric mobility. India has plans to draw 175 gigawatts of energy from renewables by 2022. As the fifth largest producer of solar energy in the world and sixth largest producer of renewable energy, India has championed the cause of solar energy globally through an international solar alliance. India also has a fast-growing manufacturing base, especially in the automotive sector. A large digitally literate young population provides millions of educated minds, skilled hands, and aspirational dreams for powering future. Expressing his conviction, the Prime Minister said, India is best placed globally to be an early mover in the mobility economy.
Technology front. Our strengths lie in information technology, big data, digital payments, and the internet-enabled shared economy. These elements are increasingly becoming the drivers of the global future of mobility. Our renewable energy push will ensure that the environmental benefits of electric mobility can be fully realized. We plan to draw 175 gigawatt watts of energy from renewables by 2022. We have a fast-growing manufacturing base, especially in the automotive sector. We also have a large digitally literate young population. This provides millions of educated minds, skilled hands, and aspirational dreams for powering the future.
NITI Aayog CEO Amitabh Kant said 76% of all vehicles in India are two-wheelers, which account for 30% of air pollution, which is why the priority of government is to ensure the switch to electric starts with them. The step is expected to revolutionize the way people travel in India, along with making mobility more connected, shared, and seamless. Affordability of public transit is crucial for low-income users and of freight for the industry. Accessibility and inclusivity are crucial for remote and differently abled users across geographies, with the philosophy of leaving no one behind. Safe, energy-efficient and low-emission systems are necessary for India to meet its international commitments on climate change.
Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi's firm belief and conviction is that efficient mobility drives economic growth, creates skills and jobs, and gives a better quality of life to the citizens. Hence, designing a holistic mobility policy framework has to be a key strategic objective for both the world and India.
According to the summit report, India can save 64% anticipated passenger road-based mobility-related energy demand and 37% of carbon emissions in 2030 by pursuing our shared electric and connected mobility future. This would result in an annual reduction of 156 million tons of the oil equivalent in diesel and petrol consumption for that year, saving 3.9 lakh crore rupees or $60 billion. Cumulative savings between 2017 and 2030 are 876 MTOE for petrol and diesel, worth 22 lakh crore rupees or $330 billion, and 1 gigaton of carbon dioxide emissions. This reduction in energy consumption results from a synergetic impact of improvements in system integration, scaled manufacturing, and shared infrastructure development. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
A modern, digitized and efficient mobility paradigm is critical for economic growth. Mobility solutions are important to connect people to jobs, education, healthcare and various recreational activities, as well as connect goods to markets. NITI Aayog has clearly said that if cities are the engines of economic growth, its mobility systems are the wheels of that engine.
Mobility is important for economic growth of a region. In India, between 1981 and 2011, the number of vehicles has reportedly increased by 25.3 times against a population growth of 1.77 times. While this indicates an increasing economic status of people, the increase in the number of vehicles has also increased congestion in the cities. According to a report, the increasing congestion is expected to cost $14.7 billion per annum by 2030 for New Delhi alone. This includes productivity lost, cost of pollution and fuel wastage. Today, new technologies and business ideas are disrupting traditional mobility solutions across the world. These are helping cities to provide clean, sustainable, affordable and comfortable mobility solutions. NITI Aayog has conducted a national workshop on 28th June 2018 with all states and union territories. The aim behind the workshop was to achieve a common understanding of the principles of transformative mobility and enable dialogue on state, regional and national level strengths, challenges and opportunities on mobility. NITI Aayog proposed 6 themes for developing a mobility strategy, namely maximum asset utilization, comprehensive electrification, alternative fuels, reinventing public transport, logistics and goods transport, data analytics and mobility. It asked states to outline strategies on mobility solutions to help in making a coherent policy on transformative mobility in the country.
This global summit signals India's commitment to seize the multifaceted opportunities that are being thrown up by modern mobility and the global disruption that it is causing. It also reflects our effort to play an effective role in using modern mobility for shaping a more eco-friendly and more people-friendly global future. India will play a major role in shaping the global mobility movement going forward.
Several states shared their strategy documents. For example, Assam, which is one of the fastest growing states in East India, has focused its Vision 2030 document on mobility towards greater accessibility, efficient mobility and low carbon future. Daman and Diu is a union territory in the western part of India. The focus of the sectoral strategy developed in Daman and Diu is on public bicycle sharing, promoting electric vehicle and related infrastructure, maximizing public transport and car sharing. Goa, the smallest state, has always remained a prime tourist destination in the nation. The key objective for mobility is to ensure urban road structure is organized, public transport is accessible, economical, efficient and effective. Haryana's vision for transforming mobility is to provide a safe, clean, inclusive and economical transport service to citizens across the state. Karnataka's mobility strategy focuses reinventing the public transport for urban transport and rural connectivity, promoting electric mobility and other clean vehicle technologies. Each state and union territory is working on their individual strengths, opportunities and challenges to streamline strategies for mobility across the country. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
In India's growth-driven journey, interconnectivity between cities and rural areas has played a pivotal role. But to achieve that, India now faces a three-layered challenge of population, congestion and pollution. We leave you with this report that talks about the current challenge before India in this regard. Thanks for your time.
The recently concluded Global Mobility Summit deliberated on a wide range of issues such as maximizing asset utilization, vehicle electrification, renewable energy integration, and also on how to speed up India's transition to a clean energy economy. In the last few decades, India has seen a rapid rise in urbanization, population and wealth, especially in urban areas. But the mobility infrastructure has not kept pace with the demand. It's true that mobility infrastructure lags in keeping pace with the growth, but how are they connected? Research shows that the demand for transport has increased by almost 8 times since 1980. This large growth in the absence of a widespread public transport system has caused a rapid increase of private ownership of vehicles in India. The number of registered motor vehicles has gone up from 5.4 million in 1981 to 210 million in 2015, a 40-fold increase. Due to a lack of integrated mobility planning and rapidly growing urban areas, most of the cities in India are polluted and congested. This is a key challenge that needs to be addressed on an urgent basis. Most Indian cities have one of the highest peak time congestion amongst Asian cities. Indians spend almost 1.3 to 1.6 times additional time in peak traffic in the top 4 metros compared to just 0.6 times for Singapore and Hong Kong. This can be reduced through a concerted focus on integrated land use, policy-based measures for optimizing travel, and data-based measures such as intelligent transport systems. A comprehensive framework that aims to minimize the impact on the city's internal traffic through measures such as timing, zoning, and optimal planning of warehouses is also required. For efficient, convenient and pollution-free transport, there is a need to improve both the adequacy and adoption of public transport in India. These challenges can be overcome by data-driven planning and urban transport. One must focus on multimodal systems. Efforts to make public transport more attractive and convenient can force city dwellers to start using them. In order to transform India's mobility, there are 3 main objectives India needs to work on: clean, convenient, and congestion-free. India has to work on controlling pollution that will lead to clean air and provide better health and living standards. We need to provide convenient, seamless and safe travel, journeys that are affordable for low-income families too, easy mobility that is accessible for all sections, including the elderly and disabled, and connected both in terms of technology as well as connecting key rural and urban centers. We also need to work simultaneously for congestion-free urban and rural areas. Minimum congestion levels will enhance economic efficiency. A number of initiatives have been launched by the government. At the national level, multiple policies such as the National Urban Transport Policy and the National Electric Mobility Mission Plan 2020 have been designed. While there are multiple examples of such initiatives, the magnitude and complexity of our mobility challenges requires a comprehensive action agenda that addresses the issue from all sides. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.